Here's some uncomfortable truths. Now, I've been paying attention to these attachment styles in dating and relationships. You have an anxious attachment style, you have secure attachment, you have avoidant, you have dismissive avoidant. The truth is very simple. I think we create terms and phrases to avoid the truth of how somebody truly feels about us, hell, how we even feel about ourselves. When you're anxious, your nervous system is irregulated. If you have to think about someone's reaction when you send a text, when you have to constantly peer over your phone to see if they're going to respond, and if they don't respond within a certain amount of time, you go bonkers. I don't think that person is for you. Now, that's not to say that somebody may not make you feel a little anxious, especially like in the early stages of dating and getting to know somebody. You might get a little anxious, like, how does this sound? How does this flow? Normal shit. But when you guys are kind of like in it like 3 to 6 months, 6 months plus, and you're still feeling this nervous tick and you're spiraling because they don't respond back to you, maybe this person is just not for you. Because no one shouldn't make you feel that way, right? No one should make you feel that way where you're constantly on pins and needles and you're constantly on edge. And people would say, well, that's just your anxious attachment style, and here is some tips to kind of make you more secure. That's all fine and dandy, but it doesn't answer the question of why does this person make you feel this way? And if you have childhood abandonment issues that's followed you into adulthood, maybe it's time to seek therapy so you can unpack that. Because I understand sometimes it's not the person's actions, so to speak, but it's really your response to past hurt, past disappointment. Maybe that is something that you need to seek therapy on to bring closure. The uncomfortable truth about an anxious attachment is that the person is projecting all of their issues onto someone who probably don't even know what the fuck is going on. Probably isn't doing anything wrong to you, but you're going into every situation with this tick on your shoulder that they're going to fuck up. Now you got to seek therapy for that, which leads me to avoidant. Oh, when somebody's avoidant, they really do crave a connection. They really do want to be with the person, but they have these fears. So when things get a little deep, things get a little personal, matters of the heart, they tend to pull back. So it's like everything is cool when it's casual, where it's surface level, where it's fun. But the minute you want to have a conversation about where this is headed, how you feel, they kind of pull back. And the reaction is, well, let me overgive and let me do more to show this person who's pulling back that I still have interest. The uncomfortable truth about an avoidant is that they don't like you. They don't like you like that. They like you for what it is. Surface level, casual, nothing more, nothing less. So when someone is being avoidant, they don't like you like that. They're avoiding you. They're avoiding that part of you that's going to force them to either tell the truth, meaning I'm not really fucking with you like that, or it will force them to ghost. And avoidant is just that. They avoiding you because they don't fuck with you like that. So when you have someone whose nervous system is irregulated, like someone who is extremely anxious because of abandonment issues, trauma, whatever have you, and they meet with somebody that at the end of the day, they avoid anything serious, that's a recipe for a disaster. Because someone who's used to being disappointed constantly, their answer is to always overgive. Their answer is to always do the most, to hold on to that person that's pulling away from them. And the person that's pulling away is pulling away because they don't like you like that. They don't see anything beyond what they already got going on with you. And the more you push for them to kind of see things your way and to kind of give you that reassurance that you're not going anywhere, they're gonna fade like Shinobi because they don't like you like that. They're avoiding anything deep because they don't want anything deep with you or just in general. Now, then there's secure. Secure, listen, secure is A. You either like me or you don't. Um it's not a reflection of my worth. It's not a reflection of who I am. If I reach out to you and you don't reach back, I'm not going to trip over it. I know there is a mental Rolodeck in my head of when you're going to be blocked. Because at this point, what's the point of exchanging numbers and trying to get to know each other? When I send a response, it take you days to respond back or your responses are dry. That tells me as a secure person, you're not interested in me like that. So float on, float on. That's how you got to do it. Now, do we need all of these fucking terms? No. And like I said, I think people do that so they can avoid the uncomfortable truth about the person that they're interested in and even themselves. Everything don't need a dissertation. It's either somebody likes you or they don't. The issue with the dating scene is that people confuse expectations with requirements. Like, expectations are hope. It's a hope, right? I hope we see each other Friday. I expect that we're going to chill on Friday. That's coming from a place of hope. I hope shit go well. That's an expectation. A requirement is what the fuck it is. A requirement. There is no room for error on a requirement. The same way when you go to work, they require you to do your goddamn job. That's how it is when it comes to connecting with someone. There is a requirement. You need to be consistent. You need to be honest. You need to put effort into this. Equal give and take. See, that's the requirement. There ain't no goddamn expectation. Expectation, well, I expect him to call. Or I expect her to fuck with me like that. They don't have to. The requirement is if we dealing with each other, we're going to be honest, we're going to be consistent, we're going to put effort. If there is an issue, we're going to talk about it. There's no room for error with a requirement. And the reason why people come in the dating scene with expectations is because people are insecure. If I put the expectation out there, it's an excuse to float on. If I put the expectations out there, it's a reason for me to have an excuse if shit don't go the way I want. It's the insecurity issue. And we mask insecurity for having a standard. You don't have no motherfucking standards. You insecure and you put all of these unrealistic expectations on somebody because at the end of the day, you ain't really trying to fuck with them like that. You just trying to find an out. I say this to men and women. If you a dude and you dealing with a woman who putting you through hoops and leaps and bounds, she don't like you. And the same could be for a woman dealing with a man. If a dude got you questioning where you stand, if a dude got you going through leaps and bounds, he don't like you. Somebody that like you and fuck with you is gonna always be consistent. Even when they fumble a little bit, they're gonna make it right. That's where effort comes in. You don't never have to be confused when somebody like you, because you will always have clarity. And when assurance is needed, you will get the assurance. If a motherfucker don't like you, you always going to be stuck in limbo. If a motherfucker don't like you, you always going to be questioning where you stand because the motherfucker just going low effort, inconsistency, because men and women are cowards. A motherfucker who not fucking with you is really not going to tell you up front because they like the access, they like the comfort that you provide, but they not going to be truthful in that they don't fuck with you like that. That's all that is. Everybody out here playing games. Everybody want to be nonchalant. I got this, I got motion. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You ain't got no motherfucking motion. Because the real uncomfortable truth for both sides is motherfuckers don't have options like they think they do. A dating app does not mean you got options. Just because the motherfucker hop in your DMs and say, hey, what's up? That don't mean you got options. People really think they got options with the amount of attention they get. That's not options. That's just attention. You don't got them options like that. If you want to keep it a stack, some of y'all are liars. You're disrespectful. You're inconsistent. You trauma bond. Your mama and daddy weren't worth the shit out of a dog's ass, and here you are. You're indecisive. You want to have your cake and eat it too. Some of y'all not coming into this dating scene honest and forthright. No. You come with your representative, and when the mask falls off, because it always do, because a motherfucker gonna get comfortable, your real side show up. And then you want to play victim when you left in the dust. Dating does not have to be hard. Dating is really supposed to be fun. But when you have a bunch of broken people coming in here with all these fucking terms and using these terms out of pocket and out of term, what you got? A whole bunch of fake ass podcasters and dating coaches giving y'all fucked up advice so they can have content. You got men talking about how the women are out of pocket, but you never choose the women that's in pocket. You always overlook the women who would fuck with you for the ones that don't. Why are you giving more to the motherfucker who wouldn't piss on fire to put you out? But you got a gem right here that you overlook. Then you want to spin the block and come back to a bad, cold bitch. And now you sitting up here saying, ain't no good women out here. Nah, motherfucker, they been out here. That's just, you ain't want that. Same for the women. These dudes ain't about nothing. These dudes ain't about nothing. But you had dudes that fucked with you, that would choose you. You had your options. And you didn't want that. You want the motherfucker that you had to chase. You want the motherfucker that kept you on red, who pumped and dumped you, and now all of a sudden all men ain't shit. I just feel like people are basically paying for what other people did, if that makes sense. So the transgressions of the men and women that hurt you, the person in your life is paying for that, whether they are aware of it or not. They're paying for that. And I find that disgusting. And this is why people check out of dating. Like, fuck that. I don't need nobody to choose me. I choose myself. The peace is within. Like, I'd rather be alone and be good and choose myself every day than to deal with somebody that I don't even know where I stand. And that is the sum total of the dating field. It's not hard. It's the people that make it hard.